The Tao Te Ching Chapter 58. The government that seems the most unwise, of goodness to the people best supplies. That which is meddling, touching everything, will work but ill and disappointment bring. Misery, happiness is to be found by its side. Happiness, misery lurks beneath it. Who knows what either will come to in the end? Shall we then dispense with correction? The method of correction shall by a turn become distortion, and the good in it shall by a turn become evil. The delusion of the people on this point has indeed subsisted for a long time. Therefore the sage is like a square which cuts no one with its angles, like a corner which injures no one with its sharpness. He is straightforward, but allows himself no license. He is bright, but does not dazzle. I'm reminded of a realization that sometimes you spend your time thinking it would be so great if you have this, if this is this way, and you're really like desiring it, and then suddenly you realize you're in a situation where things are this way, and you might have another desire like, I wish things were that way, or you might even wish things were, you wish you had something where you previously were wishing it was something like that. So just to give an example, you're in nature, you're in a party, whatever, and you're wishing that you could go home and be in your bed and have a shower next to you. And then when you're at home, you're like, oh, I wish I was at a party or a festival or a retreat or something like that. So this is happiness is to be found by misery's side, and misery lurks beneath happiness. The way of the ego is always like unfulfilled. That this is the way the mind is kind of working, and the mind is always kind of trying to seek status, protect status. It's always focused on survival, things like health, relationships, sex, money, power. And this is the way the mind is always working. If you're always trying to get what the mind wants, then you might not be very happy. And so trying to interfere with things that your mind wants might not necessarily be conducive for your happiness. But it's also talking, this chapter is also talking about not interfering with people in government, because the government that seems the most unwise is sometimes the best one, and that which is always meddling is sometimes the worst one. And the sage doesn't, they're straightforward, but they're not overbearing with that, and they're bright, but they don't overshadow everyone and dazzle everyone. It's just like balance, keep it calm. And if you're thinking too much about correcting other things or fixing other things, maybe you lose some peace, and it's just reminding you, don't be overly focused on correcting and fixing things or people or yourself.